Welcome back to Scars from the Playground. OG Gumby responds to Lil Boosie refusing to pay him his $52,000. He want his goddamn money. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Boosie say he ain't paying him shit, and OG Gumby got a problem with that. Why? He not already told you, bro. Your ad get some time. Them hoovers gonna be on your ad, nigga. Let's get into the content, man. Y'all drop it in the comments.
Basically saying, what's up? What's that OG Gumby Instagram? I just saw a video of him on your YouTube lying on me saying I stole his money. He needs to provide his claim or I've got to take legal action. Hey, so I said, if he was spreading false narratives, then I'm down to clean that up. We want to make sure we are putting out.
I don't give a. I said what I said.
First and foremost,
my mama, I said what I said. He ain't got to contact you. He can do what he got to do.
He then said,
whatever the fuck he's supposed to do.
He then said the problem is threatening me like scammed him, like I scammed him, and is saying I owe him money, and he is a gang member. That's dangerous, and I'm willing to take all measures to make sure my safety and brand is protected. I might not have read this thoroughly.
Oh, ain't that about so he threatened me now?
Then he said,
I'm with that.
Well, I don't know if he's threatening.
That was a threat. He's a gang member, whole faggot ass, buster ass. You stole from me, Jehovah. Let me explain to you how he stole. Let me explain to you.
Before you explain, let me read what he said as far as how you're lying about him still.
Keep going.
He says that he booked Boosie for a show. It kept getting rescheduled, so he had to send additional deposits or travel. And when Boosie gets there, there's a discrepancy on what was owed. Boosie says he's not doing it unless he gets paid. Someone pays Boosie just to defuse the situation.
Nobody paid Boosie. The fuck are you talking about? That is a lie. What ended up happening was this.
Well, he went on to say the fact that he's claiming that I owe him anything is him just going with his move and trying to create a narrative that dangerously and unfairly involves me. And he used your platform to do so. Oh, I'm implicated.
Yeah, you implicated.
You didn't ask for receipts or context on why I will personally be responsible for a specific number like 52K. Hold on. We're gonna see what. And that's the issue I have with platforms who interview these jailbirds who make claims while mixing street business with entertainment business. So please. Let's start with the $52,000.
Okay.
Where's the receipts?
Okay. I will be able to provide those for my financial advisor, no problem. Like I keep telling them, like I explained to Boosie. Like they keep calling this jailbird. But see, this jailbird, right? I got a settlement from the state of California. So this is the money that I use to further my interest in promoting concerts and those type of situations. So those documents are readily available.
$1 settlement.
Literally, like, but that's the least of our worries, right? Because that's my security. That's what I needed to make sure that I was speaking in the right terms and what I was supposed to be speaking on. But this is the situation. The concert that we had with Boosie had his money on time, $15,000 of my money up front, right? So I don't see why the he even had nothing to even talk about. I'm the person that got you there. That was my money, $15,000. 30 days before the concert was supposed to take place, Mr. TQ, TQ, whatever the f his name is, he contacted my promoters and explained to them that, look, I double booked Boosie, so I'm gonna have to cancel y'all shit and go with the dudes who had paid them more to go. So when they explained this to me, they had already took our radio budget to pay this shit to get him there. We had been promoting this concert for 2 months already. We never had a different date. We never postponed the concert or anything. So we don't know anything about I don't know anything about what this man is talking about.
As far as the double booking?
No, about the double booking. This is what this man told them. And this is why we end up having to pay $7,500 more. Because I just wanted to get him there. I read my contract. They're not supposed to do this. He's telling us that the $15,000 that I just gave this of my money, I'm gonna have to wait 30 to up to 3 months to get my money back from these. We ain't doing that. So I paid the extra money to get their ass there on Hoover Street. Boosie showed up to do his part. This weird ass TK, TQ, whatever the fuck. He ain't nowhere to be found. So I pressed everybody that was there about my money, right? The concert didn't do shit. We wasn't able to promote the shit the way it was supposed to be promoted. They didn't give us no drops, anything. Everything that was supposed to be in their concert, them didn't do shit. When Boosie got there, the first thing he was talking about is back end. His back end. First of all, I don't know nothing about none of the back end, none of that bullshit. You got $15,000 of my money, and you screaming about a back end. You mad at Jay-Z about how Live Nation pay you? I don't got nothing to do with none of that shit. And that was a situation that me and Boosie had. And I had to explain to him that you're not mad at me. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at your manager, who was TQ. And I explained to him at that point, your manager just did this A, B, and C. He like, what? I said, yeah, this is the money I sent to you. He said, I never got that payment. I said, that's why we here and we have this situation. At that point, he went, did his set on stage, ran off stage, jumped in his car and got on. I never heard from Boosie ever again. But later on that night, he put on his Instagram, oh, I don't have no manager no more. Book me at Boosie.com. A couple of months later, he sued his brother. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't even knew what the f he was doing. On some real nigga shit. And I'm telling you, in order for this situation to even come about to where now you and your brother are separated, come to find, what's the artist that the nigga TQ stole from the nigga? Yeah, then they turn around and get a Boosie his own money like it's a surprise or it's the nigga go. I'm saying this is the type of individual that we talking about. I'm more than willing to go, you know what I'm saying, the legal route. I don't care. You got lawyers, I got a bunch of them too that love me. Gang shit. At the end of the day, whatever him and Boosie got going on, I don't give a fuck about it. Our issue is with Boosie because that's his management. A real nigga make it right. I ain't begging on nigga for nothing. We can deal with it in the streets if niggas want to. I ain't even on that. But it is what it is.
Finally, we get the truth. Gumby is out 22.5. I don't know how he get that $52,000 figure. You know what I mean? The man say he want his money. You're gonna have to live with the fact that you handled this thing all wrong. All wrong. You know, sometimes you gotta light firecrackers and throw some rocks. But the threats, bro, it just don't go like that down south, fam. You can't tell a nigga to go in his pockets and run you your money. When a nigga hear that verbiage, that's fight ready. Yeah, fight or kill ready. You know what I mean? You got to be ready to fight or kill when you say some shit like that. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Now, you'll go the legal route. You not really on that street shit, bro. That's everything you said. The internet took that and ran with it. Why? You said the Hoovers was going to be on his ass. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell y'all everything, bro. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. How these games work. Man, they'll sell their own nigga out for some money on. Look, the closest nigga to you would do you and try to screw you. Backstab you in the back and act like he never knew you. He could be the same nigga to switch playing ball 1 minute, but he really just a bitch. You know what I mean? It's just how it go, fam. You can't trust your dogs. You can't trust your cuz. You know what I mean? It's just, come on, man. You can't trust no nigga that wasn't born with you. And even if he was born with you, you still couldn't trust him. He wants to be the better twin. Let's drop it in the comments. OG Gumby, you just got fucked, bro. I wouldn't even just call it fuck. You just out. You took a loss, fam. You took a loss. Now, you probably didn't recoup what you thought you would recoup from booking Boosie. But, man, you live and you learn, bro. Before you step into the business, that nigga say what the back end is. You got 15.5, 22.5 of my money. You still talking about the back end. Look, fam. Look, fam. You got to know the business and what's really going on behind the scenes before you start trying to fuck around. Because once you get into the game, fam, especially with your first little concerts, you want to promote, but have no history in promoting. bro, you gonna get fucked. Anytime you start any business, the first year ain't gonna be like the second. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. It's just how it goes. But you threatening Boosie with them Hoovers, nigga, them Hoovers will take a check from Boosie. Yeah, Boosie gonna give them something so they could send home. So cash is king. Them niggas gonna be able to feel like king from the clank. You think they really gonna go against the grain for you, bro? Let's just be honest, bro. You ain't got enough to give him. Now, did you really pay something? Yeah. They say you got a settlement from the state, 1.5 million. You had the money on, but just didn't use it right. Now, you see that and you put a number on it, 52,000. How did you make it up, bro? Because niggas only counting 22.5. And Boosie performed, so he don't know your shit. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. You gotta make these niggas perform off the strength. You know what I mean? Real shit. Taps they ticker. It do use an emotional trigger. But 22.5 just to get a nigga to come out. Come on, man. Me and my homeboys booked Zero for about $500 back in the day. You know what I mean? 08, 07, we booked Zero for about $500, man. I can't make this shit up, man. Swear to God, squad up. Lamar University, you know what I mean? $500 Zero, was ready to get on that stage. Now, his ass was late. He was late, but he showed up. By the time he showed up, I was gone. You know what I mean? I ain't waiting on no nigga to perform, man. It's just how I always been, bro. Look, drop it in the comments. OG Gumby got fucked over. And you hit the internet and said some shit and acted in a way you shouldn't have acted. You know what I mean? So you're not going to get a dime. Boosie say when Roy Wave pay him, he might pay you, but it ain't gonna be nowhere near $52,000. Nigga gonna give you $300 and tell you to keep moving. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. You don't want to go to court. If you go to court, bro, you'll be wasting a whole lot of money just because you came to the internet with that bullshit. Bro, shout out Boosie. Boosie is a motherfucker, you know what I mean? Always look like he got jaundice or lupus or whatever, you know what I mean? But that's my guy, sickly old nigga, but cool nigga, you know what I mean? That's Boosie, you know what I mean? Let's be honest, let's just be real. Him and Webby are unarguably one of the best rap duos to ever hit the scene. Y'all got to, I implore y'all to go listen to that shit. Webby was a motherfucker, man. Still ill. I'm still jamming Savage Life 1 and Savage Life 2. Savage Life 3, didn't really care for it too much, but it had a couple songs that jammed. I'm just being honest, just being real. Yeah, Webby ain't the same now, but back then, like my Florida nigga say, back then, that nigga was jamming. Drop it in the comments, nigga, for you niggas that heard ghetto stories and shit like that, man. Real shit. You niggas that really know something about Boozilla and Savage, drop it in the comments. Other than that, and say that shit. Yeah, say that shit. Boosie ain't going like that. You know what I mean? Run me my money. Nigga ain't running you a motherfucking thing. Not down south. It just can't happen like that. You be having better results if you was to really just ask nicely. You got to let that ego go. You got to let that chip go off your shoulder first before you approach nigga. You don't approach nigga with your face all scrooged up. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna approach a nigga like Mr. Scrooge. You gonna approach a nigga nice? Sir, may I? You know what I mean? Real shit. Use some manners, nigga. You'll get a lot further. I'm telling everybody out there that think anybody owe him anything and you're trying to recoup. Don't threaten the nigga. You know what I mean? Once you threaten a nigga, you ain't getting shit. You know, point blank, period. Unless you ready to kill him and go take it. But everybody know how that ends, bro. When you not ready to put the little beef out there, something happened to him, who you think they gonna look at? You. You know what I mean? Who you think they gonna look at? You, bro. So leave it alone. Take it. Real bosses take losses. Yeah. All the goddamn time. That's just how it goes. Ain't nobody want to admit that I took a loss. Real bosses take losses. That's how you become the big boss. Yeah, that's how you go from being an underboss to a big boss. You take a loss. Drop it in the comments, man. Scores from the playground. Like, share, subscribe, nigga. Peace.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap. People tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill. It gotta be about business.